Section 1. Introduction. A dinosaur of historical significance. Iguanodon stands as a truly significant animal in the history of science. Its name, meaning iguana tooth, hints at the early confusion and wonder it sparked among early paleontologists. Iguanodon bernissartensis is the best-known species. They roamed during the early Cretaceous, about 125 million years ago, a world teeming with new life, long before Tyrannosaurus rex, but after giants like Stegosaurus. One of the first dinosaurs described scientifically, first discovered in England in the 1820s. That discovery helped launch dinosaur paleontology, a large herbivore, not a monstrous predator, a successful plant eater that thrived for millions of years across vast territories. To understand Iguanodon, we must look past popular depictions and examine the fossil evidence built up over nearly 2 centuries. To understand any animal, we must first understand its home. Iguanodon lived in a world very different from our own during the early Cretaceous period. Its fossils have been unearthed across a wide geographic range: modern-day Europe, Belgium, England, Spain, Germany. This distribution shows Iguanodon was adaptable and successful, thriving across the ancient supercontinent Laurasia. Large numbers of fossils suggest it was common and central to local ecosystems, not rare or peripheral. The climate was generally warmer and more humid than today. No polar ice caps, sea levels much higher. Landscapes, coastal plains, river systems, floodplains. The most immediate and imposing feature of Iguanodon was its sheer size. A fully grown adult could reach up to 10 meters from snout to tail tip. It stood several meters tall. It weighed an estimated 3 to 5 tons, as heavy as a modern African elephant. Being large is an excellent defense, a harder, more dangerous target for predators. Few carnivores would risk attacking a healthy, full-sized adult. Its body was robustly built, supported by a strong, rigid skeleton. The spine was held horizontally, stiffened by ossified tendons, bony rods along the vertebrae. That made a bridge-like structure to support the heavy gut and anchor powerful leg muscles. Its tail was long, deep, and muscular, a crucial counterbalance. It stabilized walking on all fours and steadied rearing onto its hind legs. Large, powerful hind legs and shorter, strong forelimbs enabled facultative bipedalism. Perhaps the most distinctive and famous feature of Iguanodon is its highly specialized hands. These were not simple 5-fingered appendages, they were complex tools adapted for multiple functions: weight support, grasping, defense. The 3 central fingers of each hand, the index, middle, ring, were stout and ended in broad, hoof-like nails. Grouped closely, they could bear weight, acting like a secondary foot when walking on all fours. In contrast, the 5th finger, the pinky, was small, delicate, and prehensile. Flexible and independent, much like a human thumb but on the opposite side of the hand. Scientists think it was used to manipulate objects, grasping a fern frond or pulling a branch closer to the mouth. The first digit became a large, conical, solid bone spike held rigidly from the side of the hand, likely sheathed in keratin. Early paleontologists mistook it for a nose horn. Complete Bernissart skeletons corrected that, revealing a defensive role. The way an animal moves is fundamental to its survival, affecting how it finds food and how it avoids becoming food. For Iguanodon, movement was a versatile affair. The primary evidence for its locomotion comes from the skeleton and the fossilized footprints it left behind. Large hind limbs and shorter, but strong forelimbs point to a facultatively bipedal stance. It could switch between walking on 4 legs and moving on 2, depending on situation and speed. For everyday activities, Iguanodon walked on all 4s, moving slowly through forests and grazing in open areas. Hoof-like nails protected the hands during ground contact, while a rigid back and tail provided stability. This posture was ideal for browsing low-growing vegetation like ferns and cycads. When danger appeared, it could shift weight back, lift the forelimbs, and run on its 2 powerful hind legs. The long, stiffened tail acted as a dynamic counterbalance. Trackways show both hand and foot walking gaits and widely spaced 3-toed footprints for running. Quadrupedal walking offered stability and endurance for foraging, while bipedal running offered speed to escape predators. The fossil evidence paints a clear picture, not of a slow, lumbering giant, but, a creature adapting posture and speed to meet the moment. Iguanodon was a consummate herbivore, a large-bodied plant eater designed to process vast quantities of vegetation, and its entire head and digestive system were adapted for this purpose. The feeding process began with the horny beak, or rampatheca, at the front of its mouth. perfect for snipping tough plant matter, acting like garden shears. It could efficiently harvest mouthfuls of ferns, cycads and conifers. Instead of swallowing whole, it used complex dental batteries, teeth packed tightly in the back of the jaws. The jaws slid past in a shearing motion with inward pull, creating a grinding action like a mortar and pestle. Wear patterns show angled scratches and polished surfaces confirming this motion. With pleurokinesis, flexing upper jaw parts, it extracted more nutrients than many herbivores. On all fours it browsed to about 1.5 meters, rearing it could reach 4 to 5 meters, about 16 feet. Feeding at multiple levels, expanded food sources and reduced competition, aiding its widespread success. The fossil record strongly suggests that Iguanodon was not a solitary animal. Evidence from multiple sites indicates they were gregarious, living and moving in groups. The Dinosaur site in Belgium, with at least 38 skeletons together, is a prime example. Such mass mortality implies they died together because they lived together. Safety in numbers reduces individual risk and confuses predators. Many eyes detect threats earlier, letting others feed more. Herd life aids migration and protecting juveniles. Bone beds with mixed ages support multi-generational herds. Dominance and rituals remain unknown. Body language and vocalizations likely helped cohesion. Herding likely underpinned Iguanodon's evolutionary success. While living in a herd provided a passive form of defense, Iguanodon was far from helpless when directly confronted by a predator. Its first line of active defense was its immense size and power. Being charged or trampled by such a creature could be lethal. The most specialized and iconic weapon was the conical thumb spike on each hand, a sharp, robust dagger of solid bone. Rearing, it could jab at a predator's neck, underbelly, or flanks. A strike could puncture thick hide and muscle, causing bleeding or infection. Powerful hind legs delivered bone-shattering kicks. The long, stiffened tail could knock predators off their feet. Size, spikes, kicks, and tail force made Iguanodon a dangerous animal to attack. It was not an aggressive hunter, but exceptionally well equipped to defend itself and its young. Predators weighed the meal's reward against a real risk of crippling or fatal injury. After examining the scientific evidence from the fossil record, the answer to the question is an unequivocal yes. An iguanodon could certainly kill a human. However, it is crucial to understand the context of this threat. Iguanodon was an herbivore, not a carnivore. It would not have hunted a person for food. The danger would come from a defensive reaction, startled, cornered, or protecting its young. A human stands no taller than an iguanodon's leg, placing the chest and abdomen at perfect height for a forelimb strike. A single powerful jab from the conical spike could puncture the torso, causing catastrophic internal injuries and massive bleeding. Kicks could crush bones. A charge or stampede could be instantly fatal under multi-ton weight. Peaceful by nature but powerful in defense, Iguanodon was fully capable of killing a human, not out of malice, but as an act of self-preservation.